short. I'll keep my comments short. You know, my thought is that I think we talked, one of our previous conversations was about making sure that all of the entities meet the various requirements that were set forth. For instance, there was, during the RFP process, a stipulation of being located within 1 or 2 miles of the city of Taylor. So I'm not sure this document contains all the requirements that were intended to be required of somebody we were going to do business with. So by using the word negotiating, all I'm saying is the people that we are looking to do business with have to meet all of those requirements. So I don't disagree with your comment that it's already here, as long as that process includes our requirement and our verification that they're meeting all the requirements before we enact a contract with any of the vendors.
Mr. Chairman, if I may respond. Procedurally speaking, that is what we envisioning to occur, that nothing will be executed, no vendors will be utilized until they meet the requirements. So if a vendor chooses that I don't like the contract, or I don't like what it says, and I'm not going to invest the money, then we would not execute that contract.
All right, is there any other discussion on this item? Councilman Johnson.
So my question will go back to Mr. Becerra. Should we go ahead with this motion, or should we just go back to the original motion of 18 and just eliminate 1? Make an amendment to that.
My thought in the motion that I made is that, you know, I've been very vocal since I got involved in this in 2014, that my belief is that we only need 1 vendor. And through the course of, you know, 4 years of talking about this, my compromise is to bring a second vendor into the mix. Okay, so I personally believe having more than 1, 3 was too many, 1 is 1 too many, but I'm trying to compromise, whether it be the term of the contract that was first brought forth that I voted on, whether it be giving it to 1 vendor only, which I'm willing to compromise on. I think it would be a mistake for the city to use multiple vendors on a regular basis. So my thought process in bringing a second vendor in was to have a backup. We've done this, I think we did this with concrete, where we have two vendors, but we're solely using 1 and merely put another one in there for the sake of having a backup. That's my thought here. So I'm not in favor of saying put both names out there, as is the motion on our agenda, and then actively divide the business, because I don't think that's what's best for the city of Taylor. And that's been my point all along. My compromise is to add a second vendor, but I'm not comfortable changing how we've been doing business for 15 years, where we've had 1 vendor who can efficiently service the needs of the community on a residential towing basis. So adding a second tower for heavy duty, to me, is a compromise that I'm willing to make.
Mr. Chair?
Councilwoman Pats.
I think with using that word heavy duty though, if you put, as what it was read, area towing as the primary and J&M and Martin's as the secondary, it didn't say anything about heavy duty. The chief is going to be the one, or the police department is going to be the one who's going to be calling. I would imagine, my opinion is that they're going to be calling area towing. If they need backup, they will go to J&M. So when you're saying that they're going to be split within our city, I don't think that's what they're doing. If we were just to take that 1/3 towing company out of here and eliminate the heavy duty of it, I think this is good. This contract at number 18 was good, except without the 3. I think just the 2. I don't think we need that word heavy towing in there, although they probably, if it was J&M will be probably the one that does heavy towing. But I think the chief is going to be the one that's going to be calling all the time.
Councilman Johnson.
And again, I respect Dan's opinion, but my compromise is that I'm going to 2 vendors. I would like to see 3. The concrete don't necessarily come into play here, because there's different unit pricing. And we can go back and forth on that all night. But this is all the same pricing. I'm just concerned about the heavy duty. What is heavy duty? Is a scooter that you drive to get around heavy duty, or a bicycle heavy duty? What's heavy duty? Is it my truck, is my truck heavy duty? I got a big van, so if we just take that out of there and leave it up to the police chief, or leave it up to the police department, whose job is to do that, then that's what I think we should do. That's my opinion.
Is there any other discussion on this?
Mr. Chairman?
Councilman Pizzaro?
The pricing that is going to be required of anybody who's getting business under this contract, I think dictates light and heavy, and Charlie, you would know better than me, but, Department of Transportation, Class 3 and 4 versus 5 and 6 or 7 and 8, so I think the pricing is going to the pricing sheet shows the types of vehicles that are covered under the contract. I don't disagree with your comment about cement. I think the pricing aspect of this contract leads me to need more than one vendor, even less, right? Because it's all going to be the same pricing. If we look at the history of towing in the city, and if we go back, pre-2014, which is when members of this council first got involved with towing and working with the former police chief, and we introduced City of Taylor pricing, we reduced a number of prices and amended a contract that had been in effect. A lot of the pricing complaints have gone away. Now fast forward to this contract, whoever does business under this contract is going to be charging the same pricing. So there's less of a need to have multiple people. If the main focus of a lot of the prior complaints was pricing, any pricing arguments go away. Now, granted, someone can still argue about the pricing that's on the sheet, but it's going to be dictated by the contract, not by the tower who's providing the service on a given day.
Mr. Chairman?
Councilman Johnson?
And I don't disagree with the pricing. My whole thing is you have 2 different vendors, 3 different vendors, you have more options. For the police department, south end, north end, who's going to service the city the best? Who can we get out there to get that vehicle off the road? If area is down at this end and they can't get up there, you call another vendor, or you have the 3rd vendor. It's not about the pricing, it's about the service and the competition, and they're all doing a good job. Now they're competing against each other to make sure they do everything correctly, my opinion.
Mr. Mayor, could you?
Our objective is clearing the roadway. Whether you go to 2 vendors or 3 vendors, that I suppose is a matter of opinion. Going to one vendor would simply cripple the ability. The contract that we're talking about in the past has always had multiple vendors. We've just had no control over it. The vendor chose to outsource at his discretion. This needs to be a City of Taylor police towing contract, not a vendor contract. The City of Taylor Police Department has to have the authority to call and use vendors to clear the roadway. That is the single most important component of this. And then you get into the pricing model that I think has been corrected. So whether you choose to go to 2 or 3, I'm okay with either of those options. Just one is simply, to me, unacceptable. One with control by one is also unacceptable because you now give the police department no control. What if the tower, we're creating a whole bunch of hypotheticals, but what if the tower sits on Telegraph Road and says, you know what, I'm going to wait for my truck. I don't want to call anybody else. The police department has to have the authority to make that decision. So I'm very concerned with the authority being in the hands of a particular single contractor. In terms of the comparison between concrete and towing, it's not really relative because concrete, the authority has to come back to you guys for each time we use them. So you guys give it the thumbs up or thumbs down, where towing happens every single day. As a matter of fact, in the City of Taylor, there's about 2,500 tows annually. That's a big number for any one company to take on. Again, I don't have the backup data because we were not provided the data from the original vendor of how much of that gets outsourced, but there is a fair amount of that gets used. They use other companies. We just don't know.
Councilman Brown?
For the chair, to the mayor, do we have data on how many times in the last 4 years the vendor was unable to meet the required obligation or to clear tow timely, to get a road clear timely?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Mayor?
I don't have that data.
Mr. Chair? Councilman Katz?
I think going with just the one, like the mayor says, there were subcontractors that the original tower went out and got. We didn't know their background, we didn't know, check up on any of those. So with two or more, we're finding out that we are the ones, the city is the one who knows this company. The company is, if it's J&M or if it's Martin's, either one. But those subcontractors don't come into effect. I think that's what Mira was talking in regards to. That there's nobody else out there. The towing company's not making that decision on who he wants to call up, his buddy to come and get it. We would know.